All right. Welcome, Purushottamji, and good
Thank you.
evening, good morning, wherever you are. So, how are you? How is Friday? All good?
Yes, all good.
Yes, all good.
Very busy day
Great.
actually.
Okay.
Since morning,
All right.
I have been waked up and writing my book.
Great. Great.
Then went for certain meetings in Gurgaon, and it is since the traffic is very huge because of that Kamad.
Hmm.
So I took metro and then I went to meetings. So there were two meetings in Gurgaon, and then I rushed back to home. And thank God I reached timely.
Okay. That's
Yeah.
great. That's great. So, let me come back to the topic, everyone. So, today world basically it's dynamically changing every day, and technology also changing the same way, right? So today I picked up the topic called how do we ourselves, uh, keep learning the new technology to meet the market demand, right? Because we have demand in the market, the job opportunity is there, but what is lagging is called skill set, right? So uh, how we are going to or how we need to all upgrade ourselves to keep learning the technology, that is something today we are going to discuss. And Purushottam is also going to highlight couple of key things which will help us or help you all of to understand as well, right? So what do you think, Purushottam ji, like learning new skill is at every stage, is it going to be very easy for everyone, or how do you think from your side?
Santoshji, to be very honest with you, I think change is always a difficult thing. If you want to change
Yes,
something, it is pretty difficult.
true.
But on the other hand, change is only constant. Since the ages we have been listening this proverb that change is only constant. If you want to evolve, you need to change. Giving an example of Nokia was stuck to Windows operating system, and you can see they used to be a market leader at times. Now they are struggling very badly.
Yes.
So we must keep on changing time to time. We must leave our comfort zone and try to acquire new skills which are in demand. Another example I can give you, I think 20 years back, there was a big requirement for infra deployment and infra implementation engineers who could deploy servers, storage, networks, right? At that time, there was a big boom in IT and there was a big requirement from all the customers, all the industry verticals. But going forward, now nobody is taking care of the infra deployment very seriously. All they are taking care of or all they are concerned about is automation. So the demand is shifting from typical implementation to automation. Everybody wants to automate the usual stuff, the regular stuff. So this is my perspective.
Yes, true. I mean, rightly said, Purushottamji. Like lot of companies who did not upgrade themselves, they're going to die. Like I think there's also saying like, no, whether you are growing or you're dying. If you're not growing, obviously you are dying, right? And today's basically, I would like to highlight basically on IT area, because I'm working into purely IT, right? So I do see like, if you're going to keep working for the skill set what you have been working since last 10 years, 15 years, right? uh, you know like we are going to stagnate at some point of time, with the salary wise, the career growth wise. And even I was part of that. One time I also got stuck. In fact, a couple of times I got stuck, thinking that learning a new skill set is not my cup of tea. And there were time, where when we'll say like, no, पिंच विल कम बोलते हैं ना, जो आपको चुभता है किसी चीज को, तो आप फिर
Hmm.
एक्शन लेते हो, राइट? सो दैट्स वेयर लाइक आई have also gone through that phase in 2017, in fact, where they were not required for that as a particular IT skill set, which is QA or manual QA or automation. They're looking for something else, especially at a senior position level, like having 10 years experience. uh, that time I learned myself, the ETL tool, development tool, and then I was got into another job. It took time, but the point is it easy to learn in technology and implement them, practice them, and then get into job? That is what the question is for, I think, all of the people, right? They take, uh, consider it like, and then probably that would be a good example to make them understand. Yeah.
Hmm. So, as I mentioned, it is never easy to learn new things.
Yes.
When you start driving, you start swimming, or maybe you start riding bicycle, you are not habitual to that. You are not used to that. This was the first time maybe you ride a bike or you ride a bicycle or maybe drive a car, because our subconscious mind is not trained. There are certain things which we do unconsciously, where our subconscious mind is taking control on our entire body and entire actions. We get up early in the morning, and then first thing we do, we go to the washroom and pick up our toothbrush and paste and start brushing our teeth. That is subconsciously. So you need to make a habit, a regular habit. ऐसे नहीं होगा कि आज मेरे को कुछ सीखना है, मे बी डेटा साइंस सीखना है, और मैंने उठाया, एक चैप्टर पढ़ा, दो चैप्टर पढ़ा और मैंने छोड़ दिया। कल मैंने कुछ और पढ़ लिया, परसों कुछ और पढ़ लिया, नहीं। If you have to acquire certain skills, you have to be focused. You make it as a habit. I was reading a book, Atomic Habit. In that book,
Yes.
it is mentioned that every time you write something, you are a writer. Every time you practice playing cricket, you are a cricketer. So you need to build your character basically. It's all about subconscious mind and giving it regular and good habits. Tiny changes can make a big change. That's the story.
Yeah. Yes, that's true. I mean, of course, as you said, like, writing is something which is very, attached to me, because uh, I've seen people like, those who are reading the things, right? They're not even able to pass the exam as well. I mean, I've seen, one of my roommates during my BTech time. He was reading mathematics, and due to which he passed his BTech in 8 years. So I can correlate with that incident, isn't it? It's so I'm not criticizing that person, but that's the, reality, isn't that the fact? So
Yes.
even same thing happened with the technology also, right? We do like watch the video, and then we say, I think it is not going to work for me, but we never practice. And yes, of course, if you never practice, it is not going to work for you as well, isn't it? So yes, as you said, data science is, I think, I'm playing a project manager role, right? And then I do see a lot of technology evolving every day. And we're also discussing in, within the, different colleagues of all the project manager, right? And we are seeing that, hey, at this stage, can we learn programming? Can we learn AI? Can we learn machine learning? And the discussion was go on. And you know I always object that, okay, because see, being a project manager or being in a senior leadership level, right, it's not that you're going to do core work, right? How the developer going to do core work? We are not going to do the core work, but we should be familiar about what it is, how it works. So when you're going to guide your team member also, you should be knowing it, what is happening in the project, to understand, to guide them, to, you know uh, even client comes to you to ask something, you should be able to in position to reply them, isn't it? But if you don't know anything about it, how are you going to drive the project? So even in being a project manager, if you're not having the data science knowledge, and, you know uh, of course you need to do some practice. I'm meeting like a lot of people, right, throughout this journey, right? And then I do experience different people opinion as well. you know
Hmm.
Little bit goal, more experience, people, they just simply give up, saying that I think we are now in
हमसे
this
ना
age,
हो
right?
पाएगा.
Yeah, हमसे ना हो पाएगा, right? And I always smile them. Man, I mean, what are you talking about, right? What are you talking
Hmm.
about, right? I mean, uh, I just would like to share my personal story. Like my brother, he runs a pharmacy shop, and he did his D pharmacy at the age of 55, 56 years old. I mean, he did 12th and then he did, D pharmacy because it was prerequisite, because that was demand. If he has to
Hmm.
run their pharmacy shop, he has to be, either he has to hire some
Certified.
person, right, or he has to
Hmm.
be there, right? So, and he has done it. I do know like a lot of my professors who are doing very very great in their industry, and then they are also keep learning, they keep exploring different things, and that's how they can say to the mark, to the world as well. So learning, I think, is as like we are eating, we are every day, right? Learning is, for me, that's how I take it. Learning is everyday activity. It's a tiny thing, right? Even though it's small thing, if you're going to learn every day, like in a one quarter, 1 3 months or 6 months, you'll have good amount of knowledge which you can talk and explore, and you can go deeper into it if you want to. Yes.
Yes, you very rightly mentioned. And I remember I have just posted an article in the LinkedIn related to this topic, and I posted AI alone cannot replace you, but the person who understand AI or who knows AI, they can easily replace you. जरूरी नहीं है कि आप एआई में कोडिंग सीखें, प्रोग्रामिंग सीखें. It is not necessary to very well versed in Python and whatever languages there are. What you can do, you can have an understanding how you can apply AI, or basically the AI tools which are commonly available in the market, in your day to day task, and you can save your time. When you save your time, you are more productive, and you can take another responsibilities as well to show your productivity, to show your effectiveness. And when somebody who is at your manager level, he or she is watching you, and they understand that this person is very effective, he knows how to use the AI tools to save the time, and you can do n number of things. Maybe if you are a programmer, you can run your code, even you can test your code using ChatGPT and Gemini, which was known as Bard, I believe.
Yes.
Even if you are not aware how to do the programming, how to write a code, you can give the prompt and you can get the code done for you. You can prepare your presentations. You just need to give the right prompt, and there will be the entire list of content around which you need to figure out what to keep, what to remove. And then over and above, there are certain tools which will give you the custom presentation what you have prepared, for which you have prepared the content. You can put in that tool and it will give you a beautiful presentation. So this is the impact of AI in our day to day life. सेम इज द केस विद डेटा साइंस. अगर आपको नहीं आता, प्रोग्रामिंग नहीं आती, कोडिंग नहीं आती, लोगों के दिमाग में एक्चुअली ये है ना, मेरे को प्रोग्रामिंग सीखनी पड़ेगी, मेरे को कोडिंग सीखनी पड़ेगी.
True.
अरे भाई, हाउ यू कैन अप्लाई दैट टेक्नोलॉजी. व्हाट्सएप आप चलाते हो डे इन डे आउट. इवन kids who are not aware, 2 years kid, they are using WhatsApp. People
Yes.
who are illiterate, they are using WhatsApp. तो वो कोडिंग नहीं कर रहे हैं, they are applying, they are using that application. That is the case. That's why we are here, to make people aware कि इससे
Yes.
डरना नहीं है.
Mm. In fact, I mean, we, recently, I mean, like, my son asked me a question on chemistry, and I was going through the textbook, and then I thought, let me search in Chat GPT, right? And I put the exact question, right? And they gave the explanation, they gave the formula to drive it. And it helps, right? It helps to understand how the formula has been derived, how the calculation has been done, and then I said, hey, now you can practice it. Now you know the solution, but you do
Hmm.
solve yourself, right? So I think technology will always help us to learn things and grow things. It's not like enemy, always. I always say that technology is always going to be your friend, right? I mean, if you take it enemy, definitely it is going to be enemy for you. But if it is friend, then they're going to help you, in all the areas of life, right? So now, basically, I would like to say, like, what are the different sources, especially when it comes to learning, right? What are the
Hmm.
different sources you have come across, Purushotamji, um, from your experience, from your expertise? People can learn from there.
I would say if I understand the concept, fundamentals of any technology or maybe any topic, I would first evaluate Udemy.
Mhm.
That I find cheap and best option, and it has a beautiful feature that it will give you the ratings and it will tell you how many people have adapted those many courses. That is a beautiful platform I prefer when I can imagine that nobody is going to handhold me. I have to learn by myself. I need to understand what the instructor is trying to teach, because I have no option to ask the question directly, because it is not a custom class and it is not the live class where I can discuss my concerns and queries to the instructor. But depending on the ratings of the courses, there are certain instructors who are very well versed, who have explained the topic so well at your level, at the beginner level, maybe or intermediary level, so that there are hardly any doubts, because they know कि इसको पढ़ते टाइम पर जो मेरा स्टूडेंट है उसको क्या डाउट्स आ सकते हैं, उसको मैं पहले से ही क्लियर कर दूं, बिकॉज इट इज गोइंग टू बी एन ऑनलाइन कोर्स where the access between the learner and the mentor is limited. So that is one platform. YouTube, all time favorite, and now chat gpt.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, I do agree because I do also follow Udemy very well. I mean,
Yeah.
something which you wanted to know what it is, we can go to YouTube and quickly will come to know. But if you want to learn, like, a step by step process, right? Like class wise learning, then definitely it is going to Udemy going to very helpful. Even I have experience in, and I'm using it as well. I mean, recently I posted one post like since last 3 months, I have learned almost 500 hours of training I have gone through in Udemy because I have been exploring multiple things and learning as well, right? And automatically, eventually, it will be used as well, right? When time comes, right? So that something is very realistic. Along with that, like I do also attend. I do keep my Sunday especially to learn something or express something new thing by attending some webinars, right? That is also the right place, I believe, because people do conduct webinars on especially different topic, right? They do bring some new things, right, from the market because they do present something new thing, their client get attracted. So
Yes.
webinar is also at least a good place as per my experience and knowledge that will help us to like get it to know like what it is, right? And then definitely we can deep dive more into it. But at least the new features is there in the market, right? Especially during this AI and chat GPT, right? Like getting a lot of tools available in the market we don't know. So I generally join some webinars which is free of cost sometime tiny amount we have to pay and then we have to be there, and the amount of awareness and amount of knowledge you're going to get, it will be always
Yes.
mind blowing, right? Like, oh my god, these are the things also available which we are not aware about. That who will tell you, right? What is the platform where you'll come to know? Correct. There are a lot of podcast also available, right? Where I mean, generally we'll not listen that much podcast, but if you are using best use of mobile, I think that is the best place to listen some of the thing. Which again, it will come for technology, but couple of mentors or people are there out, right, who are helping with a lot of technology through podcast, right? And then you'll also be aware about that. So you can follow a couple of podcasters, those who are very good, you know. Presenter, and they're making good podcast on particular topic, and that is also going to be very helpful as well. Yeah.
Yes. Absolutely true.
And book is, I think, always favorite, isn't it? Right? I mean, we all read books, right? So I think
Hmm.
book is something irreplaceable, isn't it? I mean, you
Huh.
know.
My habit is I write on the book. You do not find my book neat and clean. If I have read some book, you will find that there are certain comments, statements,
Okay,
stars, hash in my book.
great.
So this is my habit. मेरा
Hmm.
मानना ये है कि यार जब तक लिखा नहीं बुक पे तब तक पढ़ा क्या.
Something need to be highlighted, right? Of course. I mean,
हाँ,
that something can be
हाँ,
recap as well, isn't it? So that will
right,
helps, right? That will helps as well.
right.
Yeah.
And you need to find the books of your interest. Sometimes people buy some random books and the books are in their shelf and they do not read. So we must think twice while choosing a book. Is it something which is of my interest or not? क्योंकि कुछ बुक्स ऐसी होती हैं आप पढ़ते चले जाते हो जस्ट लाइक वेब सीरीज. मिर्जापुर देखनी शुरू करी थी मैंने. मैं देखता गया देखता गया देखता गया रात में 8 बजे शुरू करी एंड इट एंडेड अप इन द अर्ली मॉर्निंग 4 a.m.
Oh my God. Hmm.
So it is addiction, as you rightly mentioned. If it is of your interest, then you will be addicted.
True, true. So I think reading book, I think it is one of the, I mean, when I started reading books in 2008, 9 time, I remember. Since
Mhm.
then, I know my mind has completely changed in terms of the thought process. Because I read the first book called Magic of Thinking book, right? So that's something amazing book which will give you a lot of thought process towards, like, whatever normal people won't even think about it, will start thinking about it, right? That yes, I want to make something big in our life.
Hmm.
And of course, I mean, thinking big is always, right, attitude to, grow and, do things, right? So uh, since then I started reading books. A lot of books I read. I got a lot of inspiration from different authors as well. I got to know, like, Rich Dad Poor Dad is another Robert Kiyosaki's book, right? And I read like his 2 3 books like Cash Flow and Business Schools. Today only I was attending one of the webinar from Robert Kiyosaki. I love to, like,
Hmm.
see him live. It was great experience. Although we cannot interact, we can interact through
Yeah,
only
yeah.
chat, but
Hmm.
it was, really, like, you know get inspiration from such kind of people who are, like, very good people in terms of by heart, or they are doing great work in their, entire world, and people are following them. So I think they are the different resources, right, from where we can learn. It's
Yes.
not only, yeah, it's not only like technical book, but there are many others book which will help us to give the mind for, right. And this mindset will bring to learn a lot of skill as well. So it's not about, just reading these books, like, as you said, like Atomic Habits is a book which will give us input to read something regularly, daily. It's not like,
Yes.
learn one programming language and leave it for 3 years or 5 years. It's not that. So these
Yeah.
books are connected to, how to develop a skill set. Everything is going to, give you mix and match things, and then it will be used in even technology era as well, right? So, you know because many people will think, like, reading a book, what will you going to get, right? But these are the going to get the mindset, and that will give you the skill set to develop something, right? So right mindset will give you right skill set as well, right? Yeah.
Actually, people forget few things. They forget that that book is not a book, is not a piece of paper or bunch of paper. It has the experience of that particular person who has written that book. Maybe I am 41 years old right now. If I am writing a book, I am imbibing my 41 years of experience in it. And if you are at the age of 18 years, I am ahead of you, 13 years ahead. When people start thinking in this way, they will love to read the books.
Yes. And by the way, you are also writing a book, right, Purushottamji? So as you said,
Yes, yes, I am
so
writing a book.
so when you're going to announce the book, when you're going to release? if you don't
Maybe
mind to share.
3 to 4 months I will be releasing my book. I think half of the job is done.
Okay, great,
Then a
great.
lot of things are there. Then you need to provide the manuscript to the publisher. Then editor
Mhm.
will come into the picture. They will suggest you certain changes, and proofreading will be there. So it
Yes,
take time.
great.
Yeah.
In fact, I'm also in the journey of writing a book, and of course, I have decided
Yes. Yes.
the release date as well. So,
Oh.
12th December is going to be announced.
uh,
The book release going to be happen.
Okay.
So,
12 December is your birthday, your
yes.
anniversary, or
Anniversary. It is going to anniversary.
ah, great. Mine is 7th December. So
Wow.
many commonality, common
Yes,
things.
yes, yes.
Yeah,
Common things. Yes.
I'm 12th November born.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So good. I mean, we are on the journey. I think we are on the journey
Yes.
together, and definitely, we can share our own experience through the book, and people get inspired. That's what we are all working towards it, to bring the change in the society, to bring the change their mindset, and of course, mindset will bring the great skill set as well, and that's where we
Mm.
will be able to fulfill that gap what market is having right now. So
Yes.
that is the topic, which I wanted to bring it today is uh, how we can learn the new skill even at the age of 43, 40 or 42, 43, whatever the age is, right? Age is just number, basically.
Yes.
If you have a right mindset to learn anything, you can learn at the age
Mm.
of 55 also.
Mm.
Right? I mean,
Age is just a number.
just number. In fact, one of my student, right? I mean, he was in US,
Mhm.
and he was very, very, very good position. I mean, of course, now he's at like 60 plus age. Then, and he was high IIT pass out. He was like serving very great, great leadership thing, and he's shown his interest to learn from me as a manual testing and automation testing, and he learned through it. He bought a new laptop, and then
Mhm.
he was just enjoying the process to learning new things at the above 60 age. I was also surprised
Correct.
to see what are going to learn this. Well,
Hmm.
it is just for actually one of his you can say neighbor doubters. She was learning this. She was my student, by the way, and
Mhm.
she has said, okay, I come across very good mentor. I think I am praising myself, but sometimes it's good, right? And that uncle, that he came in, he started learning from me, and then I was surprised to see. I mean, then he said, no, I mean, learning is something. If you have something inside that I need to learn something, and he
Hmm.
was also practicing Java code and all. So I mean, some incident happens in your life also, right? Like we'll get inspired. And then, I said, okay, I mean, even for me, I'm always
Hmm.
keep learning, keep exploring things, but sometimes,
Yes.
your mind, yeah, yeah,
You must keep challenging yourself
correct, yeah.
कि कैसे
Uh,
नहीं होगा. ट्राई तो करके देखूं. ज्यादा से ज्यादा क्या होगा, फेल ही हो जाऊंगा.
yes,
बट बिना ट्राई किए हुए फेल क्यों होना.
true.
ग्रेट.
Great. So yeah, I think good. I think some value, viewer can get it. At least they'll get the right mindset towards thinking to learn something new skill set.
Yeah.
Whatever age people are in, doesn't matter. I started learning Python. Python I have learned in past, but today I'm learning as per the data science perspective. I'm
Hmm.
going through the AI training and all. Uh, I'm following different materials and things, resources, and definitely I've set myself like by the end of this year I can project myself. Yes, I'm also very much good skills I have as a data science. So that's how
Hmm.
I think everyone has to challenge themselves, right? And
Sure.
definitely it'll help to grow in the industry as well. Yeah. So good. All right. Think
Yeah.
anything else? All good, sir.
I think we are good to go.
Good to go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. So thank you for sharing your insight, Purushottamji, and all the best for your book writing and publishing. We'll be waiting for your book to be live as well. Yeah.
Same to you, Santosh ji. It was always pleasure to talk to you. You are such a great personality and very humble person. And I think we added some value to our viewers and audiences who are listening to us. Be very careful and do not ignore, don't ignore your inner feelings and inner thoughts, and try to challenge yourself. Age is just a number, as Santoshji mentioned.
Yeah.
That's it. All the best, everyone.
Yeah. Thank you, Purushottam ji,
Ji,
for coming here. And yeah,
thank you, Ji.
we'll log off. Yeah, we'll log off.
Yeah,
Yeah. Thank you,
sure.
everyone. Yeah, thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.